YouTube. So today we'll be getting into if statements. So last week we learned how to input some user variables, but now we want to have if statements so that we can test conditions and then have certain parts of the program that only occur if an if statement or condition is true. So we have here inputting of two numbers, but instead of just doing a simple math operation with them, let's have an if statement. So first, let's actually just use one number. And instead of telling the user just simply to input a number, we'll tell the user to input a number less than 100. Now we want to create an if statement to test to see if that number that they inputted is in fact less than 100. So you want to type if, and in brackets, number 1 is less than 100. And for this line, for if statements, you don't want to put a semicolon at the end. This is because whenever you have brace brackets, which is what we're going to put here, you never put a semicolon before a brace bracket. This applies to if statements, for loops, while loops, and anything of that sort. So, if number is less than 100, print f. Good job. Because they did in fact do what we asked them to. However, we can actually, what happens if they didn't put a number less than 100? Else, and you don't even need to use the same conditions, because if you have the if statement here, it'll automatically take these conditions and apply the opposite. So else, and in brace brackets, and Xcode will automatically add the closing bracket for you. Print that number is not less than 100. So now, if you run the program and you input a number that is 50, it'll say good job. If you input a number that is 150, it'll tell you that it's not less than 100. You can do the same thing with greater than. And then 150 will net you good job. Well, 50 will tell you well, 50 will tell you that that number is not more than 100. But what if you want to have more than one condition inside your if statement? Instead of typing the word and, you're actually going to do a double ampersand. Double ampersand is representative of and, meaning if this condition is true and the second condition is true. So if the number 1 is greater than 100 and number 1 is less than 200, so we want a number in between 100 and 200. So if you type in 99, it'll tell you that is incorrect. Or if you type in 175, that you're correct. If you want or, as in either this condition is true or the second condition is true, instead of the double ampersand, you'll want to take the shift backslash, and you'll two vertical lines that looks like a pipe. This means or. So if the number is greater than 100, or it's less than 200, and in this case, pretty much any number is going to fit that description. So instead, if the number is greater than 10, or the number is greater than or less than 20. example. If you type in 2, you'll get a good job. 20, good job. 15, good job. Any number you type in will be good job. If instead of greater than you want equivalency, you want to type equals. Now this is a common misconception about coding. Most people would just think to type equal, but this is incorrect. This sign here is the assignment operator. So 6 or number 1 equals 6. That will assign 6 to number 1. But if number 1 equals 6, that's checking for equivalency. I'll just put these in commented out for now. So if number 1 equals 10, then I'll give you good job. So input the number 10. If you type in 12, it'll tell you that's wrong. 10, it'll say good job. You can also do not equal to, which is an exclamation mark and an equal sign, which is non-equivalency. So you can type any number except 10. So if you type in 12, it'll give you a good job. And if you type in 10, it'll say that's incorrect. You can also do an else if statement. So instead of using the same conditions here, you can input another condition. So if number is not equal to 10, else if number 1 is equal to actually we'll make the first one equal to 10, else if number 1 is 15, that is also correct. We can change the question to be input the number 10 or the number 15. And then you can still add, oh, I forgot the if here. And then you can still add another else statement, which is if it is neither 10 nor 15, then it'll tell you that that is incorrect. So if you type in 10, it'll tell you good job. If you type in 15, it'll tell you that is also correct. But if you type 20, it'll tell you that that is incorrect. And finally, if you want a not, and not, then you will, if you want it to say if the condition is equal to 10 and it's not equal to 20, then you would type and not equal to, and number 1 is not equal to 20. No further job. Or alternatively, if the number is not equal to 10 or 20. So the question can be any number that is not 10 and not 20. And just a shortcut, instead of clicking run, you can actually just type Command R, and it'll also run. So 8 will work, 16 will work, 22 will work, but 10 and 20 will give you no response. If you want it to give you a response, just within the else statement, you can type in that is wrong. And this is actually valid. You do not need brace brackets if it is only one line in the else or if statement. And that's pretty much all you need to know for if statements. Next week we'll be getting into while loops. So thanks for watching, and see you next week.